Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time. Or any length of time you wanted to have.
Hi, my name is Bri and welcome to my channel, Blossom with Bri. So yeah, this is just going to be an introduction video where I'm just going to tell you about my spiritual journey. This channel is going to focus a lot on that because that's a big part of my life. So yeah, let's just get started. I'll try not to be awkward, but it'll probably happen. Sorry about that. I wrote everything down on my phone because whenever I tell stories, I kind of just go all over the place with it. So yeah. That's what I'm going to be doing whenever I look down, by the way. Because, like, yeah, I'm always forgetting shit. So, my life kind of went to shit after my mom died. Yeah, she died right after I graduated high school in July, right before my brother's birthday, actually. I think it was like a week before. So, like, yeah, that sucked. But, you know, I still ended up moving to Tampa for school, and I lived there for about 2 years. Had a lot of fun, but deep down I knew that this wasn't where I wanted to be. This wasn't where I was supposed to be. Like, I just had this feeling. So I experienced a lot of toxic relationships, friendships, like back to back to back. Like, I had a few friendships that were pretty genuine, but for the most part, they weren't good interactions, especially the people that I was close with the people who I thought I was close with at the time. But in most cases, I was a toxic factor in the equation, so I just want to put that out there. I'm sorry, you guys, for all of that. I was pretty shitty, so. I had no ambition, no reason to live. I was just experiencing life instead of having life experience me, if that makes sense. So around July, it's been about maybe a year and a half being in Tampa, I would say. I just got fed up with my situation. I was like, you know what? I'm done. So I just picked up and I left. I called my dad. I think it was a Monday. I just called him at like midnight and I was just like, fuck this shit. I'm out. And my dad was just like, huh? And I'm just like, I want to leave. Like, help me move. I'm getting the fuck out of here. So yeah, I was gone by Saturday. My friends were pretty appalled, to say the least, because, you know, most people just don't pick up and leave. But, like, you know, when I feel something, like, I go for that shit. That's just who I am. Like, I try to be logical with it, but for the most part, I'm someone who just follows my gut, which is why I'm filming this video, by the way. I apologize to all of you guys that were friends with me back then, because I know it's pretty fucked up for me to just, you know, get up and leave. I'm laughing, but like, no, I'm like really serious. Like, that's fucked up. So I'm sorry for that, guys. At this point, I'm back in Jacksonville at my dad's house. No friends, no job, and still no purpose. Woohoo! Yeah, great. This was one of the lowest points of my life. Everything kind of hit me, like my mom's death. When I was in Tampa, I was just numbing the pain. Like, I would make sure I was always busy, always working, doing something, so I just didn't have to think about the reality of my situation. But like in Jacksonville, when I had nothing, yeah, shit all just hit me like a truck. So yeah, the worst thing that hit me, I would say, would be the loneliness. I realized I was always surrounded by people, yet I felt alone. And being like physically alone in Jacksonville just made me realize, like, shit, I'm really in this bitch by myself. So There were periods where I would just sit in the dark without getting up for days. Like, people would try to reach out to me, but I just really wanted to experience the sadness, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to feel what was actually happening. Yeah. And there was one day, it was like, one of my good days. I would have times where like I was really depressed, and then times where, I'm like up, showering, kind of living my life. But on one of these good days, I was just looking through a job posting, and when it caught my eye, I decided to drop my resume off at the store, and I got a call back the next day. Finally had a job, yay, after like 2 months of not working, when like I used to work. I would say like I had a job since like I was 15, I was like 20 at the time, so like 5 years straight I always had a job, and then like 2 months of no job, I'm just like, I'm a fucking bum. So I think that also contributed to like me feeling depressed, not working, in my fucking Virgo self. So the job that I had allowed me to learn about nutrition and sales, which were things I had a small interest in, especially health and wellness. Like, that was something that I always had a passion in. That was originally what I was going to school for at the time. So yeah, when I started working there, that's when shit got real. I started randomly getting these visions, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go into this like in my notes, but like, fuck it. So one of the visions, actually, I was outside like when it happened, and I saw like this woman. She was tribal, that type of thing, and I think she was like a shaman or something, and I just felt this connection to her, if that makes sense. And for some reason, like, that really just, it did something to me, just seeing her, because like I thought that it felt like she was me, or like she was, I don't know, like she had some type of, I don't know, I'm not sure to this day, but like I still think about it. Fuck. I also received this other one that was kind of hard to explain, but this is the one that kind of was like the tipping point for like me exploring spirituality. And it wasn't necessarily a vision, it was kind of like me seeing beyond what was in front of me. Like, I was seeing like the makeup and stuff. It was like grids, like on a video game, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Kind of like geometry type of shit, like I don't know. I would have to draw it out, and I'm not about to do that, but yeah, that's something that I saw, and I was just like, whoa, holy shit, like my eyes are open. What is this? And from there, I just started receiving and downloading information from what I now know is like my Akashic records, if I'm saying that right. And I just had a knowing of like who I really was, which was, I'm part of God, like, if that makes sense. Like, I grew up in the Christian church, so I always thought, okay, like, Jesus is the Son of God, and like, we're part of God, but like, I never understood it. And then I'm like, holy shit, like, we're a part of the universe. Like, we are literally like the universe experiencing an individual life. Like, this, I'm the fucking universe experiencing the life playing the character of Bri. So yeah, wow, this shit is hard to explain. It's like one of those things that you know, but like when you try to explain it, you're like, does this make sense? Like, would people understand this? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. If you don't get it, I'm sorry. So after I got that last vision that I talked about, with me kind of like seeing beyond the reality that was something I saw every day, I had to tell someone about this. So I told my manager, I kind of told her like, hey, this is gonna sound crazy, but this is what happened yesterday. And luckily she was on the same page. Like, she was experiencing something similar. So we started this spiritual journey together, and we turned the store into a hub. It was just me, her, and one other guy working at the store. So we had our frequencies playing all the time. We would continuously clean the place, and we just set our intention with the store to be like, this is where we're gonna come together and experience and grow spiritually. So as soon as we set that intention, I've met so many great teachers and friends while being at that store who have helped me along with my spiritual journey. For example, one day I was just minding my business at work, listening to one of those YouTube videos that, yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube videos on spirituality. I think we all do. She just started talking to me about crystals and spirituality, and her energy was so pure yet so powerful every time she stopped by. Like, I just felt this connection to her. And she put me on to a lot of great books and sources to help me, like the Kabbalion, for an example. That's one of the most influential books I've read so far. If you guys have any other suggestions, DM me on Instagram. It's the same as my YouTube, BlossomWithBri, but I think, yeah, my Instagram has an underscore with it. I'll just link that down in the description box. When I first moved down to Jacksonville, I was trying to make friends, kind of, so I downloaded Tinder. Not the right thing to do in retrospect. I did get a lot of laughs from like some of the things I would see on there. Can't say that, I have so many stories, but I actually met one of my closest friends on there. He introduced me to astrology, and he has been there for me in my darkest times. He's constantly putting me on to new shit to help me expand, and you know, if you're watching this, you know who you are, and thank you for that. I really appreciate you. Like, I know I'm the most annoying and difficult person to deal with, but thank you for sticking by me. So yeah, let's fast forward, and it's been about a year now. I would say a year and some change on this spiritual journey. And here I am just filming this video, starting to document everything. This journey has taught me so much, and I think the most important thing was to follow your heart and intuition, or whatever you want to call it. As soon as you get on that right path, doors just start to open up for you. I would have never imagined myself standing in front of this camera talking about my spiritual journey 4 years ago, but you know, here I am on YouTube, talking about my journey as my first video. So yeah, that's about it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Oh my gosh, I just realized my pants have pockets. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting videos whenever. I don't have a set schedule. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one.
So in this idea then, everybody is fundamentally the ultimate
Shit.
reality. Not God in a politically kingly sense, but God in the sense of being the self, the deep down basics, whatever there is. And you're all that. Only you're pretending you're not.